Vinai.
Hey, Willem.
We're
Hey,
back.
good to see you. You're back. Yep,
Episode 3.
we're Christmas done, so could push me a little bit of work between family and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we decided to go ahead and publish what we've got, and Hyvä Admin, that is. So we thought we'd record a small episode 3 video and show the latest stuff we built, and yeah, and then we'll publish it live.
The floor is
Okay.
entirely yours, Vinai.
All
Show me
right.
what you
Well,
got.
let me. Oh, you have to allow screen sharing. It wouldn't be live if everything worked, right? So,
And yeah,
thank
and
you.
we're good to go.
Okay, I want to share this screen right here. All right. So let me move this zoom bar to the side. All right. So this is the same grid pretty much that you saw last time, except there's a few little updates. So for example, when you select mass actions here, you see the total number selected. You can still select an option here, but look at this total number selected. And now if I go to the next page, woohoo, I still have 2 selected options here, right? So I can select even more. And it just basically persists the selection state while paging, right? First page, first to second page, these 2, and so on. And of course, we can reset the full selection, and all of the values will be sent to whatever mass action gets triggered. So this is just a little debug mass action that just dumps out the query vars that were sent. So that's a nice little thing that we just needed to do. And the second thing is, Willem built this nice little column toggle, so it's easy to enable and disable columns there. So that now also persists. So when moving from one page to the other, that'll also persist. It's stored in a browser session storage, so it'll reset sooner or later, but for now at least it's a useful thing. Very good. And then what else is new? Oh yeah, so I've got this, I had this idea that it should be possible to just create a grid from a collection class, right? I just have any Magento collection class that loads data from the database, and that should be enough to display a grid with data. So yeah, that would be a new collection source type. So previously, during the last video, we had repositories and we had come on. Oh yeah, array providers, right? It's been so long. So now we can also build grids with collections. It's quick and easy. So how would this look? Well, we would need to create a little file. Let's call it product collection grid.xml, right? Just a little file template. And in here, let me enlarge this a little bit. I'll add a new source. This time, the type will be a collection source. So in here, we can add whatever collection class we want to use. It has to be a database collection because otherwise all the applying the search criteria wouldn't work, right? For filtering and paging and so on. So that's why it has to be a DB collection, not any collection, but still in most cases, that's what we would want to display anyway. If you want to have a different type of collection that doesn't use a database, you can still just turn it into an array with get items or anything, right? And use the array provider. But here we go. I want to use the product collection as an example. So I'll look for the catalog module. Oh, Magento. Hey, no. Okay, Magento, here we go. Catalog module, model, resource model, product, product, I missed it, here we go. Collection, that should be the class, right? Product collection, just regular product collection. Extends this thing here. So this would be some kind of EAV collection. And then I'll add it right here. So that's all. Again, this is pretty much all that's needed to build a grid. Now I just have to tell it to use this grid here, and I do that in the layout XML. So this still points to the products grid, which was basically the one that I built during the meetup. So this just uses the repository, product repository get list type. now I want to use this one here, the new one, the product collection grid. So I'll rename this grid name to product collection grid. Right. So now it points to my new grid, and if I reload, things should look a bit different. There we go. So not as nice, first of all, right? And we have a lot more fields compared to the collection. And the main reason there is the repository uses a type that's just the product interface. So it's a very limited set of fields that are displayed in the collection, right? So it's basically just all the system attributes, the EAV attributes, and the extension attributes. So here we have all the additional getters and setters on the product model in there. Not all, because I'm filtering out all the abstract model and below. So no, get resource model and so on, but everything above that in the hierarchy is available. So there are many fields here. You can see that here some of the typing isn't quite perfect. So what I would usually do is, if I end up with something like this here, I'd start limiting the columns that I want to display. So back in my grid XML, I'd add a little columns configuration here. And I only want to include, let's say I want the ID column, and I want a school column, and I want a image column because it looks nice, right? And let's say name, right? Actually, let's move the name above. So, and with this, everything already gets a bit more manageable. Oh, reloaded the wrong browser tab. It's on that window. Okay. And yeah, that's better. Of course, we can also now start making the image render as an image by setting the type here. Type Magento product image, render as unsecure HTML true. And now we've got images again. So, but what I wanted to show actually now is that, well, paging works too. Filtering works and so on. So there we go, paging, great. But what I wanted to show you is how I can create a custom data type. So in the previous video, I used a template, a custom template to render one or more values in a column. Values in a column. Did I say that? I think so. I hope so. Yeah. Anyway, and this time I wanted to just show you how to do the same thing pretty much, just with a custom data type. It's like almost the same thing as using a template, I guess. I can't really tell you which way is better. I mean, I have data types in the module simply because that allows me to auto-detect types by matching just types to strings and so on. But for custom data types, it's your choice. You can either just assign a template to render the value, or you can create a data type to string converter. So I just wanted to show how that would look like. So first, let's find a column that doesn't render nicely. So for this, I want to say keep all source columns true again and reload. And now all the columns are back. It'll just still keep the ones that I actually configured at the beginning. Now we can scroll through the list until we find something that doesn't look very nice. So here we have a product URL model. I can't really get a good value from that because it requires a product as an argument, and well, that isn't available there. Category collection, maybe we could do something with that, I guess. I don't know. Related product collection, yeah, we could do that. Okay, let's use that. So product link collection. So I'll copy this here as my type, and that's what I want to work with. Okay, so first let's create this little converter class. It's just a very simple interface that we need to build here. So here in my module now, I'll create a new PHP class. Let's call it related products collection data type, something like that. And it has to implement the data type value to string converter interface. There we go. Two methods, toString and toHTML recursive. So let's do toString first. Actually, I want to add a type in here. So the value is either a So I copied this, right? Yeah, there we go. Link collection or something else. So let's do this. And now I'll say if $value instance of this class, then we can do something with it. Otherwise, we'll say return null. So what do we do with it? How about just rendering the SKU for each of those products? This is just a quick example. We don't have much time, so that should be fine. So we'll just return a string. And the string will be, so I want to take each product, map it to the SKU, and then implode them into a string. So implode like this, and now we need a callback. Let's use the nice PHP 7.4 syntax here. This will be a Magento product model, and we'll return get SKU. And well, actually, this here has to go into an array map, I guess. So this will be my callback, and I want to iterate over value get items, right? So now I've got the product collection items, map over them, each product will be turned into the SKU, and then that whole thing gets imploded. Okay, so that's the toString method, and then there's also the toHTML recursive method, which will be used if the cell, this flag, this render as unsecure HTML here, right? If that is set, then this method is used. In this case, I don't want to use recursion or anything, so I'll just return toString value. Yeah, that should be fine. So now, how can we use this to render the cell? Well, I have to configure it in di.xml. So I'll copy a reference to my new class here, to the fully qualified class name, and I'll create a di.xml. So admin HTML, di.xml. Okay, and I have to configure it on a class. It's a data type facade. That's like does all the main management here. This is it, data type facade. That's the main one. So let me copy a reference to that too. So that's in here. And now I can configure the constructor arguments, and I have to configure this data type class map. Oops, I added an unwanted character there. And now I can add a new item. And the array key here will be a custom code that we use for our data type. So let's call this here related products. Right? It doesn't really matter. As long as it's unique, we could give it a nicely qualified unique file name, but that should be fine. And anyway, the type here will be the string of our class name. So XSI type is string. And now I will copy over my little related products collection data type. Okay, so now we have a type code, this thing here. So now back to our grid, we can set this type code on that column. So what was the column name again? The column name was related product collection. So column name related product collection type and our little custom type here. And that's pretty much it. Let me move that further in front. So it should be the column in front of the images here. And if I now reload, so it's taking a time to reload because the config cache was flushed by the cache watcher when I created the di.xml file. There we go. Related product collection. Oh, okay. No related products up here, but down here we can see we have a bunch of related products. So we can take any object that can't really be rendered nicely out of the box and create a little renderer for it. So just let me add a space after the comma there. And then we have a type renderer. So just another way to do this, we could also have used a template, right? We could have said template equals whatever, our little PHTML template file, and then accessed the values there and went from there. Ooh, what's wrong here? Value is not. What value? Let me just remove that again. Okay, that's better. PHP Storm validation, come on, needed a bit of time to catch up. Anyway, you get the idea. So that's basically all I wanted to show.
Is that column filterable?
Oh, actually, sure. This column, probably not. I'm pretty sure it won't be. So let's try. So I'll add a navigation filter section here and a filter for the column related product collection, because so how the filters work is that as soon as the filter is enabled for a column, it basically is created as a like a search criteria. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what then happens is the search criteria is applied to the collection before it's loaded. So in this case, the add field to filter related product collection, and in this case it defaults to a text filter because I didn't configure anything else, and it, like for int, it uses ranges and so on, or dates, but by default it just uses a text. So we can't really filter a collection with a like filter, right? So I guess here this will either blow up or do nothing. Let's see. So I have a value here. Let's search for this value. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. The related products collection attribute name is invalid. So that's just Core Magento figuring out, hey, I don't have an attribute. So filtering by something like this, like a related product collection, doesn't work. If we wanted to filter by a different column, whatever name, right, that would be totally possible. And that's, by the way, also the reason why I didn't make columns filterable out of the box, because yeah, it just doesn't work that way very well. Right?
Makes sense.
But we can sort, and we can filter and so on, most of them. I don't think we will be able to sort by related product collection again. This will, oh, well, it just doesn't do anything. Okay, so it doesn't blow up, but doesn't do anything. We could disable this by saying, oops, sortable false. And now there will be no link rendered here. So, you know, it won't be sortable. The other still will be. Again,
incredibly powerful.
Try to do as much as possible with sensible defaults and make everything customizable where needed. So yeah, like I said in the beginning, we're going to publish this, right?
Let's
I'm
do
very
that.
happy. So where can I stop sharing my screen? There it is. So you want to do the honors?
Well, yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. Let me first clean up my screen. So we're going to publish 2 repos, of course. Also the test module.
Do you want to share your screen so we can?
I'm going to. I was just.
Sorry. Oh, you're preparing. All right.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep private stuff out of screen. I think
that's okay.
That's the right one.
Yeah.
Here we go. GitHub.
Woohoo.
Settings. It's right here. Visibility. Change visibility. Retype. No one does this, of course. Copy paste.
I should disable copy.
But the target group is developers, so
right, exactly.
We would rather go into inspect element and re-enable stuff than just typing it over because.
True.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay. Public.
That's one, and then the test module. Same gig, change visibility, public. there we are.
Awesome. So what's left to say? Oh yeah, thank you to Alessandro Ronci. He already made a contribution, a very valuable one. That was great regarding fixing the image rendering. So thank you here again. And I'm looking forward to other contributions and people using this. There's still a lot to do. Next thing I want to do is Ajax paging because that might influence the API to work with it slightly. But in general, it's should be pretty much the way it is now. And once all the grids work, we can start working on the forms to make them just as easy.
Here
Cool.
And we're going to tweet it, so then it's the real deal.
That's the real deal. All right. I think you can use an umlaut in hashtags, can't you?
Yes, but
maybe you don't want to. Okay, fair enough.
There we go.
Okay, time to retweet.
And we've updated Hyvä.io to reflect these changes. So Hyvä.io admin, there's more to read here.
Oh shit, I still have to, oh please, no. I still have to publish it to GitHub packages, but I'll do that after the recording.
Of course.
So, almost, yeah.
I just wanted to say the amount of effort and work you put into this is really, really a great thing. I think it's a great tool you put into the hands of the community. I really, really like the way you documented everything. You've written out the whole documentation that's very thorough, goes through all the different steps, all the possible configurations. And
you'll still need to update the installation instructions in the docs though. But that's okay. I'll do that too now. I'll just take a note and yeah.
So thank you so much, Vinai. And I also want to point out you've built this as open source, and I had a very small role in this, just making things look a bit nicer. But I would really want to ask people, if you appreciate Vinai's work, you can sponsor him on GitHub. You can even see it here on the repo, sponsor this project. So please do. I think Vinai has been such a great force in Magento community in the past 10+ years. And yeah, thank you.
As have many others, but I would appreciate sponsorships. So thanks for the shout out. And yeah, it's been a pleasure working on this. And I just regret having not done it earlier. So yeah, that's thanks to you. Finally,
there's a right time
start doing that stuff.
Yeah, it just feels like the right time to do these things.
Maybe it is, yeah.
It's good things ahead, and I really look forward to building it out further. And I hope I can play a role in building out the forms as well. So,
of course. Don't you worry, I'll have plenty of work for you.
Yeah, I have my hands full. People that are wondering, we're still planning to release the Hyvä Teams in January. We're building out the main product types. Bundles are to be finished this week. And then we do the group products and downloadables. Except for that, a lot of work we've been doing under the hood. Some really nice features also for the developer experience, and we'll do a video on that pretty soon. So cool. From our mobile holiday home, peace out.
Peace out.
Thanks a lot, Vinai.
Bye.
Bye.